So the second system we're going to look at is the skin. The skin is actually the largest system of the whole body. There's an awful lot of it compared with the other systems. So it really warrants a lot of attention. The skin covers and protects the body, protects the internal organs. It has multiple functions, which we'll come to in a moment. But you'll probably notice that the main thing that covers the skin is the hair. That's an integral part of the whole functioning of it. There are different types of hair. That will be another topic. The thickness of the skin varies according to the area of the body and the amount of protection that's needed. So you'll see that the skin at the back of the pasterns, where you need quite a lot of protection, is quite thick, whereas the skin underneath the belly, around the sheath or the udder, is very much thinner. Just have a little feel at your ponies next time, but don't get kicked. It's tough and elastic, it's got a blood supply, it's got sweat glands, it's got a complicated nerve supply to it. So it does multiple functions. It's in two layers. The skin, the epidermis is the outer layer, the dermis is the underneath layer. The cells forming the epidermis are constantly dying and sloughing off, and that's what produces the scurf, and that's why grooming not only gets rid of the dead cells, but also polishes the cells and encourages the spreading of the sebaceous fluid, which produces a shine and helps to keep the coat waterproof as well. In all, a healthy looking coat. The functions of the skin, probably the primary one is a protective covering, protection from the weather, the wind, the rain, from insects, from injuries, from traumas, from infections. Second function is the skin has a complicated nerve supply that sends lots of messages to the brain and gives the brain information about things like whether it's hot or cold, whether there's potential insults out there, injuries, sources of injuries, touch and pressure. It sends information about that as well. So lots of information sent by the skin to the brain, which gives the horse's messages on how to protect itself. Third, and possibly most important, is its thermoregulation role, which means that it's important for keeping the horse cool when it's hot and for keeping the horse warm when it's cold outside. For example, when it's cold outside, the hairs will rise and will keep a layer of air tight to the horse, which acts as a sort of blanket over the horse. When it's hot, the sebaceous glands the sweat glands produce sweat, which rises, which uses heat to evaporate from the body and so helps to cool the body down. Also, the little blood vessels in the skin, they can open up if they need to lose heat, if it's hot outside, and they can constrict and tighten if heat needs to be conserved. So it is very, very good at keeping the horse comfortable in all weathers. Of course, we just mess all that up by piling rugs on them. And there's been a lot done recently about our tendency to over-rug our horses and completely destroy the skin's very, very good system of thermoregulation. So try not to over-rug your horses. They really don't need so many rugs. Skin also absorbs UV light, which helps with vitamin D production. And finally, it has a camouflage role, although the need for that is obviously not so much of an issue with horses domesticated and kept no longer out in the wild. But in many instances, the colour of the coat will blend with their environment and protect them. So look after their skin. Their skin will look after your horse.